What is going on, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic week. Today is Wednesday. Excited to get through the week and looking forward to Kaldheim coming out very, very soon. Obviously, tomorrow will be our first look at Kaldheim on Arena, and so we are going to be jumping into that a little bit. We're still going to do the card hunt on Friday, so if you don't know what that is, we're on the hunt for Nicol Bolas, Dragon God. We're opening up a box of War of the Spark. We've got a Japanese box this time around. We're going to be opening that up on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be giving away that Nicol Bolas as soon as we find it, whether that's this Friday or any of the following Fridays after that. And then we will move on to most likely Kaldheim. We're going to look for a particular card that you guys actually get to vote on. So we will throw that vote up once we get to that point in Discord. So if you're not already, look down below. There is a link to Discord. Whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can click on that and jump into our little community there. We really do have a great community, and I welcome anybody to it. And so please make sure you check that out. Also, just want to let everybody see really quickly, we did get something really special in today, and I'm really excited about this. So obviously, we do quite a bit of altars, a lot of proxies, things like that, but a lot of those aren't necessarily hand-painted in any way. A lot of those are like frame switch-ups, different things like that. And so, as such, we don't actually sell those because that doesn't seem really right to me. Personally, I feel like that's incorrect. That's art owned by the individual, and although we do credit those people, hey Martiz, how you doing, buddy? Although we do credit those people on all of our proxies, still don't feel 100% right about that. But for the first time, potentially ever, hey Spark, what's up? We've actually created our very own, and let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Our very own digitally painted lightning bolts here, extended art lightning bolts. These will be available for sale in our store. So that link that pops up in the chat every like half hour or so, that link will take you to our store. It's not up quite yet, but they will be available for sale there. So do check those out. Thank you, Garrett, so much. I really do appreciate it. So if you're interested in picking those up, we will have them for sale individually, and then of course as a playset. And there will be a slight discount if you're buying the full playset. So just as a quick heads up there, hey Wolf King, how's it going? Without further ado, this has been a very long intro. Let's jump into the deck today. This is going to be a really, really fun one. Spark, I hope you do. Thank you so much. Martiz, really appreciate it, guys. This is a really fun deck. This is not made by me. I want to make that very clear. This is made by MTG Originals. We've used a lot of their deck lists in the past, and this is no different. Hey, Tapia. This is Felidar Retreat combo. Felidar Retreat, a very classically fun card to kind of build around ever since its release, in my opinion. Lots of really interesting things you can do with this card. Obviously, landfall is the way you're going to go, but how are you going to get those triggers? This time, we're doing Scapeshift combo. So the idea is we're going to get a bunch of lands out. We're going to use Scapeshift with Felidar Retreat out. Sack all the lands that we want, get them all out, essentially again, and then be able to trigger Felidar Retreat a number of times. Now, this does have an enchantment sub-theme, so you'll notice we've got Setessan Champion as well as Enchantress's presence helping us to kind of draw through the deck as we get through. We also have Starfield Mystic to cheapen up those enchantments as we go, and then if anything does get destroyed enchantment-wise, this gets a little extra boost in power and toughness for us, and so it's really going to be a good time. We also have Ajani's Welcome and Authority of the Consuls here. Ajani's Welcome, not my favorite card, but it works very, very well when you can get Scapeshift off. If you can't, it's a roughly dead card, honestly, but it can really get you back into a game very quickly. Authority of the Consuls really helps slow down the opponent. This is very quickly becoming a favorite card of mine. For 1 mana, it really does a lot, especially in these kind of slow aggro or slow combo style decks. We do have 3 Baffling End here to deal with some other creatures. Wolfwillow Haven as a way to ramp. We, of course, in the sweeper range, we do have Settle the Wreckage and Wrath of God, both of which are very, very good in this list. And then the Mending of Dominaria, which is actually a huge card in this list. I don't normally play this card, but for 5 mana, mill 2 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Most often, that's just going to be like a Setessan Champion or a Starfield Mystic. It doesn't need to be anything amazing, But then you return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. So not only does this give you a second chance at getting everything back, it also can get you multiple landfall triggers in one turn. And again, with Felidar Retreat, that's exactly what we are looking to do. So a very, very fun deck. We do have Fabled Passage here, which is really the only interesting thing here in terms of the land base. It does trigger, obviously, twice in a turn, so important to note there. And yeah, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a really fun time. Tapia, the pre-release kits aren't coming with the small Kaldheim dice, but I don't know if that's true. I actually don't know if that's true either. I mean, I don't use the dice. I'll just be honest. I have an app, so like, why would I don't usually use the dice. I just have basic ones to keep track of counters and stuff. The dice is cool. I mean, it's a nice little collectible thing, but I don't really care for it, so it doesn't bother me at all. Not a bad opening hand here, especially if this is a creature deck. We can hopefully gain a little bit of advantage with this authority. Looks like the opponent's got a slow start here as well, so let's take the opportunity here. Let's get Ajani's Welcome and a second authority down. This is just really gonna hopefully slow things down and gain us a lot of life. Use the dice for commander damage and planeswalkers, really. Tapia, yeah, and I think that makes sense. Totally get it. And I understand if people are upset by that. Truly, it doesn't matter to me. But that's not to say it doesn't matter to anybody else. So I understand. We're going to Starfield Mystic. Spark, yeah. Chances are we may run into a counter here. I wouldn't be too surprised. But here, already getting a little bit of advantage with that Ajani's Welcome here. Just trying to buffer our life total, so maybe they have a burn spell, something along those lines, and they do. That's fine. It's not great for us, but it's fine. How is everybody doing today? I hope we're all doing really, really well. Hopefully having a great week. Getting through the week pretty strong. It's been a very, very busy one, but it's been really, really good. And there is that link, just a heads up that I kind of mentioned a little bit ago. If anybody would like to pick up some merch, that's a great place to do it. Once again, those lightning bolt proxies will be there later on, most likely later on today, if not tomorrow. Or pre-release told me they have dice inside. I hope they are not mistaken. On lunch once again, Tapia, I like it. You'd like one at least? Awesome. Hard part of the week is over, so everything is looking up. Garrett, I love it. I love the positivity, my friend. Glad you got through the hard part of your week, and great to have you here, as always. Absolute pleasure. Looks like Grixis Control, which is going to be a bit of a frustrating one, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to do the best we can. Chances are this is just going to eat a removal spell here. Making Daragaz Reincarnated deck. I do not, but I also don't play a lot of Commander. It's been a quiet day. Burnt my thumb on the oven. Lightning Bolt Proxy, yes. Pete, I'm going to try and hold one up here. These just came in. My face is not... it's not going to focus, is it? All right, well, we've got Lightning Bolt Proxies. I'll show them off again in here in a minute. Gotta get rid of Baffling End. Perfect. We can Mending. Gotta love that. The good thing about this is it does kind of de-incentivize some of the... I'm going to get Setessan Champion. The removal side of things, it actually makes it a bit worse on the opponent's end, so... Don't really like this Angrath, though. Okay, they're Fang. That's really bad for us, and they're going to Ashiok. They are planning to exile our graveyard, which, I mean, it works. Gonna pull this back. I'm gonna play this out. Hey, Pete, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. This is gonna be a rough one for us to play against, let's be honest. This is a really, really interesting deck that we're up against that unfortunately is gonna be really, really wrecking us on all ends here. They're eating our graveyard out of existence here, and we're just gonna be in a bad place, but that's okay. And here they just get to steal this. Totally played into that a little bit. My hope was that they would -3, honestly, just to get this down to a more manageable thing here. But we're pretty dead. Sure. Felidar Retreat is actually the one kind of one of the few cards that we might be able to kind of crawl our way back into this game with, though not expecting a whole lot, to be honest. The one good thing about this deck is I don't think, at least, they've got quite a lot of enchantment hate. The problem with things like the Esper control deck is that they do have ways like Mortify to deal with enchantments, whereas this one probably not so much, which is good. Cool, Pete. Thanks for the confirmation. Pete, thank you also. Yeah, we've been discussing the dice pretty heavily. Sure. So really a land is kind of what we're wanting. Fabled Passage would be amazing, but we are kind of losing out long term here, so go ahead and do this, gain our life, and let's see what happens. It's the best thing we can do. Scapeshift would be great. If we could get a Scapeshift, that would be really amazing. Now, of course, we have lost, let's see, just one so far. Hopefully, we do not lose all of them. But yes, Pete, I am really excited about these lightning bolts. This is the first hand-painted, I'll say digitally painted, just to be as upfront as possible. It's the first digitally painted art that we have really done. Everything else prior has not really been painted so much as it's just been, you know, altars and frame and that kind of thing. It's really, really fun to be able to paint, you know, your own proxy a little bit. Obviously, we're just extending the art. I kind of wanted to start small, excuse me, and not overthink it or not do anything too crazy, just because I want to make sure we're within means here, and not be too ambitious. But I do want to see what we can do with it, and if this becomes an extra, guys, all right, this is really big for us. The key here is how many lands can we actually get. They do have 3 mana open. Dude, we're getting all the lands. Screw it. We're just doing it. Oh, we can't search libraries. All right, well, I'm done. Oh, I forgot. That's so frustrating. All right, well, we played into that one. Cactus, the fun did not begin, unfortunately, and Wolf King, we did not get there. Really quick, while everybody's here, just going to show this off one more time. If it will focus, come on now. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, Garrett's trying to help us out. All right, well, it didn't work. Anyway, we've got lightning bolts available very soon. Yeah, Martiz, they have Ashiok, and Ashiok says you cannot search your library. Garrett was trying to help us out there. Tapia coming in with the anti-hype. That was just a misplay on my end, but I think we were losing the game anyway, so I don't really feel bad about it. Also, I do need to check in, yeah, Martiz, it sucks. Martiz, do you want to keep track of our record throughout these games? We are 0-2 so far. Thank you, Garrett, also, for letting people know. This is a weird hand, but let's try it. Perfect. After each game, if you do not mind sharing in the chat our record, we are 0-2 right now. Hoping to get our first win. This is nice only because we do get to ramp a little bit, so figured let's go ahead and keep it. This gives us a turn 3 settle if we need it. Even better, an Enchantress's presence. Love it. Now this is the Esper control deck, I'm guessing, which is going to be a problem. Mortify is damaging. Ooh, 4-color. 4-color mill. Okay, well, we're gonna really be wanting a mending here as best we can get it. I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. We'll just play this land. I like saving the Fabled Passages if we can. It's pretty important that we're able to play those. Now, here we're just going to get flooded, of course. Let's attack in. Let's see what happens. I'm guessing this Settle is going to do very little against this deck, which is fine. It may get a, like, Nicol Bolas or something like that if they play the 4/4 Ravager. Oh, no. And unfortunately, that's not going to help either. Let's go ahead and play this out just because that is probably the correct thing to do. Just so it's not stuck in our hand if they're trying to discard for whatever reason. And then this guarantees a landfall trigger later on. Curious to see what they end up doing here. Did they get a mending? They did not. Well, that's pretty crucial for us, so that's good. All right, let's get an enchantment. There we go. This is exactly what we want. A little worried about a counter here, but we do get to draw a card regardless, so we get a little bit of value at least. All right, we let that resolve. Again, hurts a little bit, but worse things have happened. Man, and a backup one. That would have been really nice. All right, well, in that case, we are just going to attack for 1. We are on that 23 turn clock for the opponent. Slowing them down, I like it. All right, my turn. We're gonna try again. It's the best thing we can do. Again, we draw a card regardless, which isn't a ton against this kind of deck, but it's the best thing we can opt for. Really, any enchantment here, though, is gonna be great for us. Trail, perfect. Let's do this one. Draw another card, that's fine. Now we're on the draw train, which is good. Let's go ahead and attack in. At some point, they will have a removal spell. I mean, this is the deck of removal spells, I'm guessing, so. Just gonna pass here. All right. Another great option here, just because it's a cheap enchantment, which makes it really convenient. Hopefully drawing a couple cards and another Felidar Retreat. Let's try it. Again, we have to. A little worried they have another Syncopate. They did not. All right. I'm actually going to go here. This seems a bit weird, I know, and that's fine. I'm going to attack in. Let's see what they do. Okay. Is there anything we want to do there? No, I don't think so. I was kind of expecting a settle, so I'm not super surprised by that. Then this just gives us the option to do this. Let's go ahead and sack. Hold this. Get another token. I'm going to go ahead and use these up here. Now, chances are they will have another sweeper, so we are going to need to be a little careful about that. Let's just go there. Part of me wishes we could Scapeshift at instant speed, but obviously not going to happen. That'd be a little too broken, I would imagine. Kaya. Okay. They do get to eat one of these cats, which is kind of frustrating. Oh man, they get to eat all of them. All right. Man. Okay, well, worth noting, they are down to 1 card in hand, which does make me feel a little bit better about scape shifting here. Just because, again, we really don't want to run too heavily into some stuff. I don't want to draw quite so many lands. Let's see. How many lands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we really only have like 4 lands in our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there's 4. Oh, I miscounted. That's fine though. Enters tapped, enters tapped. I think what I'm going to do is play very heavily into them only having single point removal here. Just on the off chance, I'd like to play around just single point and shoot removal. If they just have a sweeper here, we're pretty close to just dead eventually, thanks to this Kaya. Would really like to get a Mending of Dominaria. That would be really good. Sure. Okay, well, good news is they probably don't have a better play then. So, that's helpful. Unfortunately, we just keep drawing land, though. Out of 19 cards, we'd hope we'd have a little bit of a better play there, but okay. Let's go 1 here, stop that from killing us, and then go here. Alright. I'm gonna hold up this Setessan Champion actually. If we've got enough mana where we could drop Setessan Champion with an enchantment and not be a problem. What I'm worried about now is burning out and not having anything. Martiz, yeah, I think we've got this. All right, first win. Finally, we got a win. I do really enjoy the play pattern of this deck, so I'm glad that we've gotten a win on the board. Let's see. Martiz, thank you so much for updating us on the record. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the hype. Let's get some hype in chat for the win we got there. Omega, what is up, my friend? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. We're playing some Felidar combo today, and it's kind of working. We got our first win that time. I think that was a really good game, actually, in a probably not very advantageous position or matchup. So I feel pretty good about that one. Wolf King, yay. I like it. It's a bit of an odd hand. Gotta go, have fun. Thank you so much, Tapia. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Great to see you, as always. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let's go here. I'm going to go with the Starfield Mystic play. It just allows us to do quite a bit next turn. And kind of advantage on this Haven. Basically playing it for free. Okay. Let's get rid of this. I do want to get rid of this pretty quickly just so they don't get to ramp, essentially. And we'll just tap this here. All right. See what happens. Looks like Gruul ramp of some kind, but I'm not sure. A lot of these Gruul decks tend to be Dino decks, which is kind of interesting. That's different. All right, so let's go Authority for sure. And then we'll just play the Mending. Trying to save this Fabled Passage here for a Felidar Retreat, if we can get one. This is a bit scary, actually, just because it's kind of an odd card for them to play, but it is very, very strong. And unfortunately, we make their decision pretty easy with Riot. Since they can't actually attack in, they might as well always go for the counter. That's pretty helpful, though. Do we wait and see if they play anything else, is my question. Turn all lands, that's only 2. I'm gonna do this, just to get this into the graveyard again for the Mending. That does seem like a good call. I'm gonna Wrath. That might be a bit premature, but it also, I think, is a bit safer. And we're about to get everything shuffled back into our deck, so I kind of want to use things now as best we can. So then this is going to give us a lot of land. And unfortunately, we've only got one thing we can do, so let's see what happens. This is scary, scary. Godzilla, really don't like that. And we're kind of faced with a difficult question here, and that's to crack flexing with that Godzilla. Yeah, it's either to crack the Fabled Passages or to leave them. There is a deck thinning element that we should think about. However, if a Felidar Retreat comes up, we obviously want the trigger, so I am going to wait. And unfortunately, I think made the bad call there. I think the over-under is more positive if you can crack those Fabled Passages, but we're just drawing so many land that unfortunately there's just less we can do. And here I do think we need to deck thin, just to give ourselves the best possible chance at drawing a sweeper. That is all we can get at this point. Arguably we cracked ours too soon. But I think we just, we kind of wanted to stop that damage train from getting quite so bad. Gonna double the counters here, I imagine. Ah. Alright, well, another loss. Man, just got flooded that game. I will say we only have 24 lands in this deck. This is still a 24 land deck, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a little weird that we're flooding quite so hard. Let's double check. It may be one or two more than that. I think it's 24 though. Yeah, just 24. Man. Crazy that we flooded that hard. It just feels a little weird. Wolf King, yeah, we're just not getting there quite so easily today. That's okay. That is fine. Really excited for Kaldheim, by the way. Yeah, Martiz, there is a consideration for that. It's just because it is a landfall deck, there's like that need to also have lands. So it's a bit of a fine line as to what do you do. I'm actually going to go turn one Ajani's Welcome here. Just to get this out. We've been flooding, so let's bank on the fact that we may or may not flood. Alright, well, we didn't. Let's pass. Also, just a quick tip. Passing with your Fabled Passage up and then being able to crack it at the end of your opponent's turn is actually, but we do have the Fabled Passages. It's a very fair point. And maybe that is a consideration that we should get rid of them, but I don't know. It's a tough call. Cracking your Fabled Passages until your opponent, waiting to crack them until your opponent just can't do anything about it is kind of a good thing to think about. But for landfall, it already works. Yeah, that's fair. The reason being, though, you give them a little bit less information, and 9 times out of 10, it's not going to matter. But there is that one chance that maybe it could. And so I find it very, very helpful to consider that. Okay. I'm just going to play the Setessan Champion here. Gain our life. Provides a blocker. We do have Baffling End at some point, but I think playing it in this order obviously gives us a bit more potential value. This is a Godfarer's Gift deck. They're going to look to reanimate this at some point and then get this back. Typical anyway. Now lands are not coming. Yeah, of course. Martiz, this is our luck. That's okay. They are going to attack in. I'm just going to take it. I am not going to play into that. I just don't particularly care about it. And here we're going to Felidar Retreat. I will attack here. I don't plan to block with this. I'm assuming, yeah, they're all too happy to get that out of there. That's fine. This Godfarer's Gift deck is very fun. And there we go, refurbish, bringing back the Godfarer's Gift. Exactly what we expected. And that's not good for us, but also I don't know that it's the end of the world. That's kind of frustrating. But we actually just get to Baffling End it. Other option is just Scapeshift and try and get there. Okay, or we can just do that. I don't like that quite as much. Yeah, let's do this. Let's Baffling End. Oh, it doesn't hit tokens, does it? Is it creation controls? Oh, it still has the mana cost, doesn't it? Okay. Well, then I think we might just lose. Again, misplaying a little on my end. Slowly misplaying and losing, but that's fine. Create a 2/2. Let's do this again. Get another land, that's fine. I'm gonna spread this out. And I will attack it here. Indestructible. Yep. These all have haste, which is kind of a problem. And the next time they attack, we lose. So, yeah, unfortunately, that was a misplay on my end. I'm gonna go ahead and concede. They've won it. Not getting there today, but that's okay. We'll do a couple more games here. We're at 30 minutes. Still not doing very well. Anti-hype in the chat. Interesting deck. Yeah, the Godfarer's Gift deck is very cool. I really like it. That's one that I don't know if we've actually played yet. The refurbish Godfarer's Gift. It's very, very fun. Guys, what are your plans for the end of the week? What have you got going on? Is it work? Is it school? Anything fun? Martiz, thank you so much for those encouraging words. Yeah, some days you just don't get there. That's fine. Going on backpacking trips. Dude, first of all, welcome. I haven't seen you. Second of all, that's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. That's really, really cool. Outlaw Pete, so interesting thing that happened there. I actually did plan on doing a few Breaking the Bot episodes. To the point of having a number of decks that I thought would be really, really fun. But Wizards put a token cap on the number of tokens that you can have on the field. So 250 became the token cap. The bad thing about that is that a lot of the Breaking the Bot decks, quote unquote, focused around getting a lot of stuff out onto the field, and you can't do that anymore. And so while I do really want to do it, I've got decks that would work, unfortunately, doesn't look like that's going to happen. So that kind of sucks. Martiz, seeing your girlfriend again. They are easing the lockdown in my region. Martiz, I am so happy for you, buddy. That's fantastic. I hope you guys have a fantastic time together as well. And Wolf King, it's your friend's birthday coming up. I like it. Yeah, there is. It's 250. I actually looked it up today, in fact, because I was very curious as to why... I kept like testing decks for Breaking the Bot, actually. I made like 4 or 5 different decks that I was really stoked about. One in particular really caught my eye, but they put the cap on, and so it didn't work, and I was really upset about it, so kind of sucked. So yeah, I'm not saying that series is dead. I just have to restructure some of the cards, basically. Okay, I think it's pretty clear we're just gonna Wrath here. On the off chance they don't block this, we're gonna attack in, though. Wow, they did. Perfect. I'm gonna Wrath. Might seem a little unadvantageous for us, but I think that seems like the best play, given that they had a 3/3 Trampler out. Again, I may be pulling the trigger a bit too quickly there, but... Starfield Mystic into double Starfield Mystic, essentially. Alright. Well, it sounds like you guys have a lot of awesome plans. I'm going to go ahead and say, my fiance and I, Caitlin, you guys have heard me talk about her plenty of times, but she and I have been working on some house renos, as I think I've told some of you. It's been really fun, actually. We've gotten quite a bit done. But so here's my question. Do we Scapeshift here just a thin? Seems kind of silly, but it also seems really relevant. I'm doing it. 4, 5, 6, and yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of them all. We have the mending to bring everything back. 4, 5, and 6. Enters tapped, enters tapped, enters tapped, enters tapped. All right. Screw it. We have 6 less cards in our deck. So we've actually been doing some house reno stuff, and we've been painting and like figuring out that kind of thing. Eventually we do want to sell this house and find ourselves a little bit of a bigger place, you know, for the eventual family and that kind of thing. And so we started painting our downstairs bathroom. We've gotten the walls done finally last night. We also, and guys, for you homeowners out there, you probably know this. A front door, like just the front exterior door of your house, is incredibly expensive. It's really stupid. The house that, or the door that we have to get, thanks to our HOA, is like very near. How did we still draw land? Very near $1,000. And that's not painted. That's none. It's just ready to go, as in like install. So, we didn't want to have to buy a whole new door, but in particular, so we've got a glass inlay in the door, and again, we have to get this thanks to our HOA, and there's a piece of trim. It's an oval piece of trim that goes around it, and it just looks nice. It adds a little bit of character to it. Well, ours got sun damaged over the years. It was very old, and so that trim like overheated and then snapped in a number of places and was falling off the door. And let me be clear in saying it has been falling off the door since I moved in like nearly 2 years ago. And so that was very frustrating for both of us because we really wanted to get that fixed, but we weren't trying to spend $1,000 on a new door. We just wanted to see if we could replace that trim and save a little bit of money. We've been looking for 2 years. Finally found the trim a month ago. It shipped like a week ago, and we just got it in like I'll say Monday evening for lack of a better timeline. All right, well, this is just fantastic. We might be able to draw some stuff. Look, a land. How do we have so many lands? This is ridiculous. And so, first of all, yes, anti-hype in the chat, we lost. So finally we got this trim in. My father-in-law to be, and I put the trim back in and like got it all set. And finally we got that done. But that piece of trim still cost $200 for a piece of trim. You know how much trim costs for just a flat piece, like crown molding, baseboard, that kind of stuff at the store, at like Home Depot, wherever you want to go? For like 8 feet, it's like $5. I'm making up a number, but it's a single-digit number. Why in the world does it cost so much for a piece of trim? That is insane to me. So regardless, we're both a little frustrated, but we do have a nice clean door now. Number, glad you're not a home owner yet. Yeah, I like being a homeowner, don't get me wrong. It's just frustrating as crap when stuff like that comes up. Just because that's silly. That's just silly. That shouldn't be a thing. All right, this is a nice little turn sequence here. Really, we should have done that in reverse order, but that's okay. We could have drawn a card. I'm playing very loosely today. It's just not my play day, but that's okay. I'm just having fun hanging out with you guys. No blocks. That's fine. Authority is actually quite nice. Let's play Authority. Also, just a quick reminder, there is the link in the chat there. If you're interested, please feel free to pick up some merch. And again, these Lightning Bolt proxies will be... How are we still drawing so many lands? These Lightning Bolt proxies will be available there very, very soon. It may be this evening. It may be tomorrow morning. I am not 100% sure. But, like I said before, they will be available as just a single card or as a playset. So, just as a heads up, there will be a slight discount if you buy the playset. Not sure exactly what shipping costs will be, but I know some of you guys are outside of the US. You will have to pay a little bit of shipping, but that's just because, unfortunately, shipping rates are crazy. So, ever want to be a homeowner? I already have enough with paying bills. Dude, Martiz, I will just say, being a homeowner makes long-term sense. I rented, I had an apartment for quite a while. Actually really enjoyed my apartment for the time that I had it. But there's a lot of like not great things that go into having an apartment. Chief among which is is this a Felidar deck? Yes, it is. Chief among which, though, you're not getting any like equity. And what that means for anybody that's not sure is you're paying into something that you're getting no value out of. You don't get to resell it. You don't get to make any money off of it because you don't own it. You never can own it, not even a piece of it. Whereas in a homeowner situation, the bright side is you do actually own it, at least a portion of it. And so when you want to resell it, you can. And that's a really good place to be. And unfortunately, we're getting flooded once again, but it is what it is. Anyway, so lots of positives to home ownership. It is expensive and bills are expensive, but I will say if you do enough research and you save up enough and you can get yourself a good down payment, the mortgage is way better than the rent. You're not going to pay quite as much on your mortgage as you will your rent. And therefore it really is more financially viable long term. It's just you do have to keep in mind that it's expensive. You got to have that down payment. I will say first-time homeowners, you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can get a kind of a break on your initial loan, which is kind of cool. So there are ways to help out with that kind of thing. All right, well, here's to hoping. This is weird. This is a weird deck. Worth noting, we can sacrifice this and create a token. That would have been great to have had. Let's just do this and screw it, we're activating it. Oh, Martiz, dude, taxes suck. I feel like I'm giving life advice, and I'm not qualified to give life advice, but yeah, taxes suck. Though I'm really excited. I just paid off student loans and therefore should get a pretty decent, you know, break on my taxes. So we'll see, but that's going to be kind of fun. All right, so we really need a sweeper. I'm saying no blocks, dude. Do it. Oh, goodness. Activate ability. Thanks, Garrett. And Martiz. Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't have too much left, but it was really helpful to knock that out. What's your future plans for the website and the channel? I would like, first of all, Numbers, great question, and thank you again for being here. I believe this is your first time. This is really nice to listen to in the background. I like it. Hey, look, we lost again. We're gonna do one more game, just a heads up. And then we're talking future plans. Okay, future plans for the channel. This is something I think about quite a lot. Oh, thank you, Martiz. Something I think about a lot. And for those of you who don't know, It Resolve started with my friend Will and I, who decided we wanted to do a podcast, and Magic was our common ground, and therefore we made a Magic podcast. That was, gosh, nearly 4 years ago. 3-4 years ago, something like that. It was in the springtime of a year 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, so we sat down, we recorded our first podcast. It's still up on YouTube. I don't recommend watching it. It was terrible, but you can if you really feel like it. And the idea was that we would just continue doing a podcast. Now, we basically, over the years, he has had to kind of phase himself out, and that's not through fault of his own. He has a family. Like, they have a baby already who is a absolute sweetheart. She is precious. I love her with all of my heart, and they are now pregnant with another kid, and so that one's going to be on the way this year, which is great. Really stoked for them. But that left basically all of It Resolves to just me, which is scary, because basically I have to run the show. And I like running the show, don't get me wrong. I'm a bit of a control freak, so it kind of works out. But everything you see that It Resolves produces is stuff that I do. So I create all of the posts, I create all of the videos, obviously. I do all of that. I will say we do have some really great help in the Discord for those of you who are in there. Proxy the Goat, fantastic friend of mine, and really, really good moderator. We also have Lady Ziggy in there and Spinneraptor, who are new, but both very, very good. And so I do appreciate the help where I can get it, but all the posts anywhere that you see are me. And I like that, but it's a lot of work. And so I do the best I can to balance it. What I will say, though, is for the future of the channel, what I would love to be able to do is continue growing it to a point where, you know, we can actually push this into, I don't want to say a full-time job for me, because that's a little scary in its own right, but to a point where it's self-sustaining and then potentially growing financially in some way. We have been very, very fortunate, and I can't thank the patrons enough. Some of you may be patrons, and I really appreciate it. That is really our lifeline in terms of financial stuff. Without that, we would be basically nowhere. And so, again, can't thank you guys enough. We do make enough each month to cover our costs, and then have a slight bit of revenue, which is where things like the card hunt came into play, because we had a little extra. I will say all of the money, essentially, at this point that's been earned by It Resolves has kind of gone back into It Resolves, because I'm very, very quick to say let's reinvest into it and try and make it bigger and better. And so thankfully we've been able to do that. But I do want to keep it growing. I want to make it a big thing if I can make it a big thing. I don't know if we'll be able to, but I'm going to try. I also feel like I have to do... Oh, we can't do this, can we? They have hexproof, so we actually can't target them. And so I really do want to keep it growing. I really want to do more, and again, we're flooding. So yeah, that's... I don't have any like specific plans because I've got video ideas, I've got things like that I want to make happen, and these proxies, like these lightning bolt proxies that are going to be up for sale, are kind of a new era, or a new, we'll say, content stream for us, because it's ideally something that you guys can pick up and purchase. It's a revenue stream, it's all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they have hexproof, thanks to Rhythm, I believe, or... Oh, as long as it's your turn, you and Spellbreaker. Yeah, there we go. We're just dead. And so, yes, I do want to... Final score, Martiz, 1-7. And yeah, Garrett, it was from Spellbreaker. So I do want to keep growing the channel. I do want to push it even further if we can. We've done some old school stuff like Crack-a-Packs and stuff like that we rode on for like a year and a half, and that was not a good idea. So that's where gameplay came in. I want to keep going and push things further, but that's where I'm going to reach out to you guys, and feel free to drop suggestions now or in Discord, wherever. Feel free to message me directly. I will check it. And give me suggestions as to what kinds of things you want to see out of the channel, because ideally I'm going to do it because I enjoy doing it, but I need you guys to enjoy it on your end as well. Otherwise it's really not as worth doing, if that makes sense. So give us suggestions, give me suggestions. I'd really appreciate it. But honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. We've had so much growth over the last year in particular. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Do you think you would make custom cards on your website? When you say custom, do you just mean, because altars we're already doing, but completely custom cards, maybe, don't know. We did technically do, there's a land cycle in the shop link, called the Spaceland cycle that I did create from scratch. It's composite photos that I put together and then heavily edited. Those are up for sale right now. In fact, let's see. We're just kind of talking for a minute while we're on the bottom end of this. So this is one of them, Wolf King, that I did create. If this will focus, can we focus? Get my head out of it, maybe. All right. Well, let's do this. Okay, there we go. You can kind of see it. It's they're full art land cycles that I did create from scratch. They're available for purchase now. If you would like to pick those up, again, there's a cycle of them, but then there's also singles. So yes, we do make custom cards on our website. Number, very cool to see the work you guys have put in so far, and exciting to see how it grows. Thank you. I really do appreciate you supporting, and it really means a lot. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned tomorrow. We may push the stream off a bit later to see if we can get Kaldheim in. If not, we will still stream. And then make sure, of course, we join us for the card hunt on Friday. But guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This has been a relatively unsuccessful game stream, but a very fun talking stream. So thank you so much. Had a commander idea based on my D&D campaign. Wolf King, share it with me. Give me a message. Drop me a message either in Discord, or you can whisper it here on Twitch as well. But thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you again very, very soon.